Welcome to Art with Mrs. Cap, where we are going on a journey through the world of art and the many histories and cultures that influence it. Whether you're a kid or a kid at heart, wanting to learn more about the art world, this is the podcast for you. So join us as we journey through art with Mrs. Cap. Today we're going to be talking about the Parthenon. Not to be confused with the Pantheon of ancient Rome, but we're going to be talking about the Parthenon from ancient Greece. So the Parthenon is located in Athens, and it is actually dedicated, it was a temple that was dedicated to the goddess Athena, who is considered the patron of Athens. The city is named after her. So construction began on this in 447 BC or BCE, when the Athenian Empire was like at the peak of its power. And then it was completed in 438. So it took a little under, or a little over 10 years for that to be completed. And then the decoration was continued through 432 BC. So the main construction was completed in 438, but overall the facility was finished in 432. So it's one of the most important surviving buildings from classical Greece. It's also considered the zenith of the Doric order. And something about ancient architecture and even architecture we have today, there are three main orders, and that is the Doric, the Ionic, and the Corinthian. So this one is Doric. Doric is probably the most simplified and doesn't have as much decoration to it. Ionic is where you get those kind of swirls at the top of a column on the corners. And then Corinthian is the most elaborate of those three. And that's where you have like acanthus leaves and decoration at the top of those columns. So those are your three most important. So it is a Doric order structure. It has sculptures that are considered like the high points of Greek art. If you're studying Greek art, if you take a class on Greek art, you spend a lot of time studying this. It's also regarded as one of the most enduring symbols of ancient Greece, Athenian democracy, and Western civilization, and is one of the world's greatest cultural monuments. You've probably seen this and didn't realize that you were, seeing this. It pops up quite a bit. It is a very important structure. Just a little bit of history about it. So it was obviously a temple during the ancient Greek time for, Athena. There was actually, a statue of Athena in it. And then over time, when the 6th century AD comes around, it was converted into a Christian church that was dedicated to the Virgin Mary. And then after the Ottoman conquest, it was turned into a mosque in the early 1460s. Then, a little over 200 years later, in 1687, an Ottoman ammunition dump was inside of the building, and it was ignited by a Venetian bombardment during what's known as the Siege of the Acropolis. And that is when most of the damage took place to the structure. So it's interesting that this building was pretty much standing until a few hundred years ago. It's still standing, but not in the condition that it was back at the end of the 17th century. So I have to say there's a part of me that wonders what condition it would be in today if that hadn't have happened. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Be sure to subscribe and check out more episodes as we travel through the world of art and art history to have a better understanding of our own ties to the culture and history of humanity.